Do you get horribly gassy? No, I wouldn't say so. I have a lot of release valves.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, some of your viewers, it's been a pretty long time since we took a look at iDubbbz, over 2 months in fact, but this recent bit of drama between him and H3 kind of caught my interest for how absolutely ridiculous it is, and it just shows how far this drama's fallen. To be fair, you might be wondering, Samuel, what's piqued your interest to cover iDubbbz after 2 months and pull out, you know, the old thumbnail faces for it? Well, it's because iDubbbz and H3 are complaining about plates.
We bought it because I will eventually be a grandpa. Eventually. This is a really good plate.
Now, this all started because Anisa served iDubbbz some food on a piece of cardboard. Arguably an incredibly weird move. Like, I honestly don't know what else I'm really meant to say. iDubbbz is there eating pickled onions and some stuff off a slab of cardboard. I mean, the guy is weird, but that's nothing new. I'm gonna say, do you remember when this drama had some stakes? You know, you had the whole creator cache element at play. You then had iDubbbz with the whole content cop. You know, there was some pretty interesting things going on. Now it is just genuinely iDubbbz is a freak. Let's point and laugh. Let's point and laugh at the guy that looks like Dobby. You know, I want to be super clear. It can be funny to just point and laugh at iDubbbz. It's something that I did for several months, and it was an absolute joyous occasion, but this is just so pathetic, it's funny. Plate drama doesn't just stop there, no, because once H3 saw that iDubbbz was eating like Oliver Twist off a bloody piece of cardboard, he made some statements. So he put on Instagram, how's life, bud? Followed by, Ian, do you need plates? I can help you, brother. Now look, realistically, this is where it should end. H3 has sent a couple of shots at iDubbbz for, you know, eating off a piece of cardboard, you know, mocking him a little bit. But no, it doesn't end there because iDubbbz felt the need to respond. Why, you may add? I have absolutely zero idea why iDubbbz thought it would be a good idea to actively respond to somebody mocking him for eating off of cardboard. Surely he has better things to do, but, you know, anyways, that's beside the point, apparently.
I was surprised. I was like, he was posting me doing the scrandle, custom-made scrandle on cardboard. It's always what he gets upset about is like people not interpreting what he's doing as a joke, but it's so overt. I just put fucking mushy peas on cardboard and uncooked marmalade.
Yes, iDubbbz, that's in fact what H3 and you both did. And ultimately, iDubbbz could have just simply ignored this. This is something that H3 will always do now. H3 is always going to take pot shots over at iDubbbz. Anything iDubbbz does, you know, H3 is going to say something about it. That's just something that is going to happen. But by actively responding to it and crashing out like this, you are feeding into what H3 wants ultimately. It's not even like iDubbbz is responding to something impactful or, you know, life-ruining. He's responding to a thing about a fucking play.
The fact that he's so excited about someone being poor and struggling is so gross. He does that with the girls he's suing too. Yes, it is fucking, it's weird. And then he hallucinates anti-Semitism as well.
This is all over iDubbbz eating off a piece of cardboard, by the way. What are we even talking about here? That is such a disingenuous interpretation from that chatter of what H3 is doing here. And ultimately, why does anyone care? H3 mocked iDubbbz for eating off a piece of cardboard. Yeah, it's funny. That's genuinely where it should have stopped. I know the people watching this video think this is an absolute nothing burger drama, and that's exactly why I'm covering it, because this shouldn't be a drama in the first place. It's insane that this is something that I can sit down and talk about because I'm talking about cardboard and plates. They then talk about their lifestyle and how even when iDubbbz was making a shit ton of money, a lot more money than he is now, that they were still living the exact same way. But I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this video that think that H3 is being incredibly pathetic here, and the fact that he's still dragging out the iDubbbz stuff to this day is insane. To me, what I find more insane is the fact that Anisa and iDubbbz are still actively entertaining it. Why are they sitting on stream giving in-detail responses when they know that H3 is just going to get on live or get on Instagram and mock the shit out of them? It just simply doesn't work, and they should just move on and ignore H3. Now, you're not going to believe this next bit because I genuinely didn't when I was watching it, to prove that, you know, they're not poor. They've actually got plates. They pull some plates and, you know, mugs out of the cupboard. I have no idea why they are dragging out these few Instagram stories so much and responding so badly. Ultimately, you are giving ammunition to people where there shouldn't be ammunition to give in the first place. We are talking ultimately about iDubbbz eating off a slab of cardboard.
We bought it because I will eventually be a grandpa. Eventually. This is a really good plate.
Who gives a flying fuck? This is genuinely what the iDubbbz drama's come to. Yes, well done iDubbbz and Anisa. Nobody doubted that you actually had plates. People were just taking the piss out of you for eating off of cardboard, and now you're actively feeding into that, giving people more ammunition, and I don't even think you realise it.
It's anthropology.
It's anthropology. We're supporting local artists by buying it from Anthropology.
The batching,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Twin cats. Twin black cats. How often... Are you ever going to see a mug like this?
The thing is with iDubbbz and Anisa here, I genuinely can't tell if they are trying to be sarcastic or being serious. I mean, that's how down bad they are at this point. I have absolutely zero idea when they're trying to be sarcastic or when they're genuinely trying to be serious, because I would sit here and label this as sarcasm, but with iDubbbz I have no idea.
Never.
No, never.
Independent artist anthropology.
Uh-huh.
Bowl.
Yes.
So it holds lots of ramen. And my favorite.
Can we vulgar roast?
The screenshot makes them look like they're literally living in a crack den. Again, ultimately my advice to somebody like iDubbbz and Anisa in their position would just be stop responding, and stop responding to pathetic stuff like this. If H3 gets on and starts genuinely slandering you, then yeah, go for it, respond, but ultimately he's taking pot shots at you, trying to make you look like a weirdo, like a fool, and ultimately you're taking that bait and actively responding, giving him more content, giving him more ammunition, which ultimately I can only assume iDubbbz and Anisa doesn't want, but ultimately I feel like they don't care at this point. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I haven't covered this situation in over 2 months, and it feels like I'm just picking exactly up from where I left off. It feels like nothing has changed in this situation, no stakes have really gone up, and iDubbbz and Anisa are still acting the exact same.
You
Yeah.
have that in your house?
Yeah, do you have a faded nobody knows I'm gay cup? I bet you don't.
I bet you don't.
I bet you don't.
Fucking get owned, bitch. He's got a little spire. I love
It's fucking awesome.
this plate. Do we use these plates?
Pedo Troll
No.
probably fucking, like, treats all of the ceramic bowls and plates as, like, disposable. He probably throws them away.
Not gonna lie, iDubbbz, I think you really got him there. Just repeat that one more time for me, please.
Hey, what's happening? Why are we looking at dishes? Drama I missed? I mean, not so much drama, but, you know, because Pedo Troll is obsessed with us and some other people on the internet.
I genuinely don't get this. iDubbbz is saying that H3 is obsessed with him and Anisa. Instead of stopping interacting and trying to calm down that obsession, he actively feeds into it, leading into more obsession and more content coming from H3. It's like he genuinely wants H3 to be obsessed with him because that's the only way he can be relevant now.
He decided to create a narrative that I'm plateless. That I'm plateless. I have no plate.
iDubbbz is calling this a narrative here, but he will decline to say this isn't drama, this is just him responding to someone who's obsessed with him. Ultimately, all H3 did was take some pot shots, even if you think they're pathetic, that's all he did, and iDubbbz and Anisa have decided to respond for several minutes about a couple of Instagram stories.
Gold-plated tooth, though? True. That is a sign of poverty, is the gold-plated tooth.
Now, do you think this iDubbbz and Anisa and H3 plate situation stops there? Of course it doesn't, because H3 had to respond. Of course he did. He puts, bro is mad, I have plates. He then shows off one of his said plates. Then H3 does a comparison by saying Anisa serving her loved one on cardboard, shallow, dumb, bad, cheap, lazy, and wasteful, and then he picks himself up for, you know, delivering his wife some food on a plate. Finally, he put, look how the monkeys dance for me. H3 then offers iDubbbz to come onto his show to, you know, have a conversation with H3, presumably about the plates. If he does that, I genuinely hope he does, because it would be fucking fantastic. If he does that, iDubbbz is more than a lost cause, if he wasn't already. And at the time of recording, that's the last piece of the puzzle in the iDubbbz and Anisa H3 plate arc. I can't believe this is something that genuinely happened, that this is drama, this is something that is being spoken about in a corner of the internet. I am absolutely baffled. This is probably the weirdest thing I've ever spoken about, the dumbest thing I've ever spoken about, but I had to speak about it because it was just so outrageously stupid. I would genuinely love to know what you, the viewer, have to say about this. Please feel free to comment down below and watch the video, might as well subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more Slob Mule content. Usually we don't make videos on plates, so, you know, please subscribe.